Excellente. All right. Hello and welcome everyone to episode 97 of the GGG Podcast. I'm Paul, and as always, I am joined by my beloved co-host, Phil, who's feeling a little better this week. Still no opioids for his painkillers, Phil. You're not on any painkillers right now, yes?
No painkillers. All fame killers.
All Tylenol.
Yeah. I need some extra strength Tylenol, I'm going to be honest.
Okay. So yes, welcome to the show. We got a pretty good show for you this week. Pokemon ZA comes out. Lots of sales going on in the news, so we're going to break all those down for you. And of course, for the main topic, we're going to be talking Battlefield 6, which everyone seems to be playing this week. And we're going to we've gotten some substantial time with the game, so we're going to give our thoughts for that. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, follow us over there as well. Phil, I know you've been playing Battlefield this week. Have you been playing anything else?
Oh, absolutely. I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Yotei.
Mm-hmm.
It's either like if I'm playing single player or playing by myself, that's what I'm playing. If my friends get online, then I'm like, all right, Battlefield, let's go. And I gotta say, it's tough because they're both such great games. They're both such fun that I don't really want to tear myself away from either one.
Yeah.
But man, Ghost of Yotei is just incredible. Like I keep on having story moments where I like tear up and feel some really cool stuff. And then the way that I'm getting, like the way that my character is developing, I am feeling like such a badass. Like it feels, I don't know if it's been so long since I played Ghost of Tsushima originally, but I'm definitely like, oh, a lot of things are smoothed out here and it's great.
Yeah.
100%.
I've been playing Ghost of Yotei like crazy. I believe I am at the last mission or the last like chain of missions in the game. My girlfriend beat it last night, so I have to beat it so we can talk about all the juicy little details of the ending. But yeah, dude, I am absolutely in love with this game, and I think it's very underrated, and I'm really like getting pretty pissed off about it, to be honest. like it's holding it like an 86 on Metacritic, and I'm like, it's much better than that. I'm not gonna go as far to say it's like a 10 out of 10 masterpiece, but I think I said this last week. I'm like, I'm at like a 9.5 or something for it. It's like I can find things to critique if I really want to get in the weeds about it, but it's just the fact that Monster Hunter Wilds is rated better than this game is absolutely laughable. And people like...
It's tough. They're both good.
I'm funny. So, like...
No, I will... Ghost of Yotei, I've talked to friends about it who are pretty big gamers, and like, the criticisms I've heard is like, oh, well, Ghost of Tsushima started up so quick. And for me, it's very much the opposite. Ghost of Yotei, like, boom, story starts going, and I care more about... Like, I definitely care about the Mongol invasion that happened in the first one. But the sort of... Like, all the stuff going on with Atsu and her family, and, like, the unfolding mystery of the Six, I feel like is immediately more involving. You start playing very, very quickly, and your character is already a badass. You don't need to learn all this stuff. Like, you're learning things as you go, and the way they do that is great. But you just roll out, and you are ready to beat some ass, and that's great.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely starts you a little ahead of where Jin was as far as, like, what you can do in the game. But it just... The game design is incredible. The game looks great. Even if you're playing on a regular PlayStation on performance mode, it looks absolutely incredible. And so it's just, I think this game is very underrated. I think that it's a combination of, Assassin's Creed fans feeling a little hurt that their game was slandered against, which I feel for them because, I think a lot of the anti-woke gamers, we can't have women protagonists in games, is factoring into its ratings and whatnot. But it's just like this game is so freaking good, and
Yeah.
I'll probably do a separate video just to talk about it, because I hate that it's sitting at an 86 on Metacritic right now. That bothers me, and it tells me that just people are reviewing things of just like, I think, you know what also has an 86? Deep Rock Survivor has an 86 on Metacritic. Okay?
Interesting.
And that's a good game, like, no doubt. All right. But like,
it's a very different experience.
It's a very different experience, guys. So I just, as far as like being a big AAA game that works when it releases, and we're not having any issues or notable glitches or game breaking things or anything like that, I'm pissed off. Play this game, people. It is. If it's not the game of the year, it's a nominee. Like, I get it. We got Expedition 33. We got Hades 2. Maybe Donkey Kong Bonanza gets a nod as well. Like, but yeah, this is it's pissing me off, the slander on this game.
I can say, like, one of my favorite moments of this game is I approached the town, I did a standoff, and then the wolf that is shows up in the marketing showed up to help me out.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time that the wolf had shown up. So then as we're walking through and like clearing more out, I was like, this is, you know what? I'm going to make a moment of this. And I started playing the wolf song on the on her little like guitar thing. And the wolf was just sort of like pacing behind me and weaving. And it made one of the most beautiful moments I've ever seen in a video game. And I was like, oh, this happened diegetically. I helped to contribute to what this was, but this felt so like that game really does feel real and natural and alive in a way that very few other games do.
Yeah, it really, really does. So, and I don't know. And we'll break it down later in another video, or maybe we'll do a spoiler cast once you beat the game or something like that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much been it. I've just been playing Ghost of Yotei and Battlefield. I jumped onto No Man's Sky very briefly just to check on my settlements and whatnot, but haven't really gotten anything else. All right, so the major game releases this week. We got Pokemon ZA. People have been looking forward to this game. It's getting pretty solid reviews, not earth-shattering the best Pokemon game ever, but pretty solid reviews from what I've seen. So
I think it's sitting at an 80 on Metacritic right now, which is good. It's some people have it pretty high, other people are 7s and 6s. So it's a interesting mix.
I mean, I think this is the Pal World effect a little bit, where it's, I think some reviewers are acknowledging, okay, Pokemon ZA, it takes a step in the right direction of a Pokemon game, and it actually works, on launch, unlike Pokemon, Pokemon.
That's a weird thing for those games to do.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, oh, we want to acknowledge that they took a step in the right direction, but is it enough to see the change in the franchise that we actually want? And for a lot of people, no, it's not. And I echo that. And with Nintendo circling like a shark with all of their patents that they're trying to secure and monopolize this genre, I don't know. So what do you think, Phil? Is this something you're going to pick up?
Yeah, I'm going to pick it up. It seems to me like the general word around the fireplace is that this is an evolution of Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I think was one of the most promising Pokemon games in the last couple of years. Don't get me wrong, I actually enjoyed Scarlet and Violet. Like, I was like, oh, cool. They've taken classic Pokemon, learned some lessons from Arceus, and improved. This seems like a step in the right direction. I do think, like, in terms of the Pal Worldification of things, is Pal World, I think, did so many things very, very well, but then also took some steps too far, like where you could turn your pals into meat and make them work as a slave labor.
Of course, yes.
Where I'm like, oh, that's fun but weird. Like, this is silly, but at a game where I actually care about my little guys, I don't love that. So I don't know. I'm excited to see Pokemon. They're the AAA brand come back and like actually do their thing. They've made real time battles a little bit more of a thing. You're like dealing with cooldowns and dodging stuff. So hopefully this is the right direction. But they really just got to work more on their presentation. Their game still looks, even on the Switch 2, I've seen video of it, looks running kind of old, kind of flat textures. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Nintendo fans have validated Nintendo in being like, graphics are not that important. So,
Yeah.
I mean, largely this is going to be a kid's game. You know, I know that there's several adults that are still into Pokemon, and maybe if I had a Switch 2, I'd pick this up as well. But yeah, the graphics are not the priority. But I am glad that the format has changed a little bit, that it's more like Arceus, or how do you say it, Phil?
I think it's it might be Arceus.
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 One of them. It's Arceus.
Arceus. Okay. So, but it's good that they went in that direction, and that the performance, even though the graphics aren't incredible, that the performance is up to a decent standard. So that's
well,
nice.
that's if you're running on the Switch 2. Switch 1 probably.
Oh yeah,
absolutely borked.
I mean, I'm not gonna. it's not like I bought God of War Ragnarok and then played it on the PS4. I'm not. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah.
So it is available, but I'm good. So yeah. Always fun to see a Pokemon game come out. Let's get into the news for this week. Lots of sales going on. A little bit of a lull in the fall/winter holiday release window. So we got Steam Next Fest that is active right now. So that's a lot of indie games and demos that have been put out. Lots of games on sale, including big name games. I've noticed that Borderlands 4 is already on sale. Not a huge sale, but from $70 down to $55. So if you were like, oh, $70 is a little bit too much for Borderlands 4, now $55 maybe, that gets you across the finish line. So so that's cool. You pointed out before we started, Phil, Power Wash Simulator 2 is coming.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's coming next week.
It's available now.
Is it available now?
On Next Fest.
Oh,
yeah.
Right on.
So Steam Next Fest is going hard right now through October 20th. And there's a lot of a difficult game about climbing. So there's a lot of things up on there that are very exciting. I made a list of a couple of things that I am looking forward to specifically. So Power Wash Simulator 2 is basically Power Wash Simulator, but with multiplayer. Hooray! You wanted it. You needed it.
Is Power Wash Simulator 2 the one that got Bikini Bottom, or is that Power Wash Simulator 1?
Power Wash Simulator 1.
Okay.
Has Bikini Bottom,
I see.
But notably, another big, semi-big game that's on Steam Next Fest is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up game that looks like sort of the old, what's the right word, cabinet beat-em-up games of the past.
Yeah.
Lots of characters, lots of unique combat things that you can do. And it's less predatory than those old games because they weren't designed for you to lose and then continue to pay money to continue playing. That old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game is abysmal to play if you're playing on one of those things. It's just trying to get you. There's just caps where it's like you have to pay another $1 to keep playing. So that's all very exciting. It's available now, even though the game doesn't have a release date. There was something else. It's a moving game, pretty much, but it is by the people who made Peak and Other Crab's Treasure, and it is sort of a mix of Peak and Overcooked, where you are trying to get things done, grab certain items and move them. There's all these issues. So all those are available to play right now, which is very exciting.
Hell yeah. Right on. Well, yeah, check out Next Fest. Always fun. And always great to get some deals. And I think Power Wash Simulator, I think its official release date was supposed to be next week, but because of Next Fest, it is out right now. So that is pretty cool.
Interesting
that they're doing that. So
Yeah.
All right. Continuing right down the deal train, Destiny 2 is seeing a massive sale on Green Man Gaming. Green Man Gaming is a video game retailer site that Phil and I have brought up periodically. They usually have great deals for PC games, and there are some great values because the usually priced top tier Prophecy edition of Destiny 2, which is usually priced at $275.
That's too much.
Oh, sorry, I misread this. So it's usually priced at $80. It's on sale right now for $35. And then the Vanguard tier, which is usually for $18, it is on sale for $8. And then the Ghost tier is available for $5, which includes Beyond Light and Shadowkeep. So you can get 2 DLCs. And the Final Shape as well. So the last 3 big DLCs, the Ghost Tier Edition, you can get for $5 on PC for Destiny 2 right now. I've never seen a more obvious going out of business sale. So that's pretty crazy that you can get all that. I've thought about jumping on Destiny 2 back when we got that Star Wars preview where they were basing all of the DLC that's going to be coming out in December as like Star Wars themed, and they're going to be redesigning some of the world. So like Mars looks like Tatooine, and other planets look like other Star Wars planets. So I've been thinking about that, and with this deal, I might just spend $5 just to catch up right here. So that's
so the Legend deal comes with Destiny Renegades when it releases.
Ooh.
So that is $35, and you get everything, including the new DLC, which is pretty exciting.
Wow. Yeah.
But also, again, does seem like a going into business sale, like you're saying, and Star Wars Renegades is also what a weirdly timed thing.
What do you mean?
Destiny Renegades. Like, is there a new Star Wars coming out around December this year? Like, where are we in Star Wars now?
No, no, Phil. This is
Destiny and Star Wars are very uniquely different things. They
are not uniquely different things. This Destiny is a clear ripoff of Star Wars with even less story. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, no. Okay, here's the thing. Destiny is like more poetic and edgy than Star Wars. Star Wars is great, but it is it's like a very specific world now, and Destiny feels like something that evolved from Star Wars for sure, but like it's mostly about guns. They don't use the Force, they use light, which manifests in all these like cool ways.
Did you hear what you just said? Did you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
They don't use
fighting
the Force,
back the darkness.
They use light. They don't use the Force, they use dark. What are you talking about right now?
Well, I will also say Destiny has the balls, Star Wars, to be like, yeah, there's not actually a light and dark side of the thing. They're just 2 different sides of a force that exists.
They'd say
this is what is.
No.
Star Wars. Star Wars is so up its own ass about them being like, no, Sith are different. It's like it's not like it's a bad side of the Force. It's not how people use it.
Oh, I see. So like it's guns in America. I see.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they're doing this because the universes are similar, as much as Phil and I want to argue about it. But I think that they're doing this because this is a last attempt. It's like, hey, this is a licensing deal that we can do somewhat easily. We know that our player numbers are at an all-time low, which we're going to talk about in a second. So this just feels like this is the last DLC. It's going to be fun, and we have a chance to get some players back, such as myself, because we're putting out a Star Wars DLC thing. But that leads us into our next thing, which is that Destiny's player count is at an absolute all-time low right now. There have never been fewer players actually playing Destiny. Let me make sure yes, this is the worst recorded player counts on Steam, and there was a new Destiny currency that had been added into the game that they decided, no, we're not going to do it because there was a severe backlash to that. And I believe the currency was there to replace the fact that there would not be any more big DLC coming out aside from Renegades. And so this is how they were going to keep the monetization going, other than like silver and shopping for cosmetics, like what has been in the past. So yeah, I think like the Star Wars, let's see if Star Wars can reignite this. But if I'm Destiny, if I'm PlayStation supervising Bungie at this time, like I'm like 2026, we need to get the ball rolling on something else. You need to make a new game.
Yeah.
So hopefully that actually happens. Do you want a Destiny 3, Phil, or do you want them to move on to something else? Because Marathon is not coming out.
I'd take a Destiny 3.
Yeah.
I'd also take them and Sony buying the rights to Halo and just being like, you know what? Back to Bungie. Let's go. I mean, Bungie isn't the same people that they used to be.
Right. Yes.
But I can't think of another franchise that I could think of Bungie like taking back up and doing some really cool stuff with. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, Destiny 3 would be cool. Give me a Destiny on modern hardware that's built for it from the ground up. Or like, you know, a Destiny that's more of a spacefaring, like Destiny Explorers. You're on you're a different solar system. You're out there fighting the darkness or whatever. And bring back Peter Dinklage, I guess, is my biggest note.
No, please God, don't do that.
I want to hear about the wizards on the moon.
Well, Nolan North can tell you about that, not Peter Dinklage. All right. So pressing right along, we were talking about Halo. And so we got not a leak necessarily, but some news from a Halo voice actor who says that there is big news incoming. So there's supposed to be some sort of Halo news coming down the pipeline. We have talked on the podcast a couple times about how it's going to be pretty obvious that Halo is going to be released on PlayStation. I'm assuming we're going to see the Master Chief Collection as well as Halo Infinite coming to PlayStation. And I'm assuming as well that there's going to be like some PlayStation Halo Infinite pack or something like that to try and, similar to what Destiny's doing, trying to reignite their player base. So do you think that that's what this is, Phil? Do you think it's just a PlayStation release, or are we talking, does Microsoft actually have plans for a new Halo game? What do we think this is?
I don't think I think Microsoft does have plans for a new Halo game. I would be weird if I got my excitement up about that. Like, I feel like that is not something that is likely going to happen.
Right.
I think the big news is going to be like, oh, it's on PlayStation, and now you can put on a skin that makes Master Chief look like Astrobot, and I will play that. I will play the breaks off of that. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I do think a new game is eventually going to come out, and it will probably be a platform agnostic, like, relaunching of the genre saga, maybe not necessarily like a reboot, but just like a complete envisioning of Halo. But yeah, I'm guessing this big news is it's coming to PlayStation. That's got to be big news.
Yeah, they're apparently going to talk about this on Friday, October 24th. So 9 days from when we are recording this. I'm just having a tough time rationalizing them doing like a live presentation or a showcase or an announcement, and the announcement being it's coming to PlayStation. And expecting fans to have a reaction. If this was coming to PlayStation, which I still do think it's going to happen, I feel like this is a YouTube video that they drop and they put a PlayStation logo at the end of it. Like they don't do a big announcement. They don't hype it up. It's just It's just a press release. It's not something that they get somebody in front of a camera to talk about. So
Yeah.
I think the possibility remains that it could be like we do have that screenshot from Halo Studios with, Master Chief fighting in Elite. In their new engine. I mean, not new engine, it's Unreal Engine. So I'm happy that they have confirmed that they are working with Unreal Engine. So maybe we get like a teaser for a new Halo, fingers crossed, something like that. And that it is coming to PlayStation.
Yeah, I feel like that's like what's sad is that is big enough news for them in terms of like what's new with Halo. Right. I also think that this is a short side tangent here.
Okay.
But Game Pass did the first thing that pissed me off. Like they raised their prices recently, makes plenty of sense. Yeah. But they have a game now called Ball and Pit. No, it's Ball X Pit.
Okay.
It is made by Devolver Digital, and looks like a really fun, like sort of ball bouncing roguelike game.
Okay.
And it says that it got added to Game Pass. When you look at like recently added to Game Pass games, you click on it, and actually no, I can't play it. All right, I'm not angry anymore.
Were you afraid it was locked out for one of the tiers or something like that?
Yeah. So on PC, it said it was locked out for that tier, and then I needed to get the cloud Game Pass Ultimate to play it. And why would you put that on the list of things like on my account that has PC? Why would you put that on the list of things added to Game Pass?
Right.
Yeah. If they start doing that, that is going to be a pretty quick. Okay, I'm done with Game Pass. Like,
yeah,
trying to upsell me already.
I will say, like, I was taking a harder look at PlayStation Plus after we were talking about the Game Pass price hikes on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and I will say again, I still think Game Pass has better games on there and more recent games on there, but. The thing that I do like about how PlayStation does it is very obvious of what the tiers are in PlayStation. Of like, if you have basic PlayStation Plus, you get the monthly PlayStation Plus games. If you got PlayStation Plus Extra, you get access to the games library. And then if you have premium, you get access to like the streaming, like the PS1, PS2, PS3, all of that stuff. And then a bunch of other like video stuff. So it's like very clear. It's like, if I have the middle one, I'm getting access to the whole library, period.
Yeah.
There's not like, these games are on this version and these games are on this version. And then these games are on this version. The library makes a little bit more sense. So I would caution Microsoft to not chop those up too much. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into some more news. We got Halloween events coming. Typical for October. So we're just going to talk about some of the games that are going to be getting Halloween events. These are games that have already announced what they're going to be doing. There are some games on this that are not on this list that will most likely be doing some sort of Halloween type thing, such as like Marvel Rivals and the finals and stuff like that. But starting out, classic Grand Theft Auto Online always has some sort of event going. Got to keep the casino wheels turning. But they are going to have, 5 weeks. It looks like, or maybe, maybe 4 weeks of Halloween stuff. So they got the Beast versus Slasher, Judgment Day, more Slasher stuff, something called Condemned, and then the Slasher Returns. So fun stuff there.
They have aliens in this game. They have Clown Man with a knife.
Everything.
They have zombies. They got a demon pug. They have a man spider. Stop touching Grand Theft Auto 5, everybody. Take the memory out of your computer and throw it into the river. They need to stop working on this game because that's the reason Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't coming out till May. And that's the reason we haven't gotten Undead Nightmare in in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Although we
Okay?
kind of did. We kind of did, Phil. So
We got a wet fart of a
yes,
version of that.
very true. All right, up next, Halo Infinite. Hopefully, this isn't the big Halo news, but they are doing.
Knowing Microsoft, this might be it.
They're doing Operation Halloween 2 as so you can try to survive the undead playlist, and then there's like a Halloween themed costume and whatnot. It looks pretty creepy. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the Halo universe, but sure, why not? Call of Duty getting its classic Halloween stuff, including the Predator, Jason Voorhees, and Chucky. So you got your classic horror movie appearances there, as Call of Duty loves doing nowadays because it's just a licensing game. And then Fortnite, of course, Fortnite is going to be doing an event. Fallout 76. I don't know how this game is still going, but I guess that just Fallout people are just so loyal to this game. I can't get over it. I think it just looks like garbage, and I
It looks bad and plays bad.
yeah,
it's rough.
Yeah. Phasmophobia. This is a game I haven't talked about in a while. They're doing a Halloween event, and that very obviously fits the game. So it's going to be running from October 9th to Halloween itself on the 31st. Players can compete in challenges to earn rewards themed around Halloween and spooky stuff in general, although it doesn't really get into the nitty-gritty details of what is actually in there. Warframe, we were talking about this right before we started recording, Phil, doing a Halloween event. Warframe, one of the strongest and long-running free-to-play games out there, and people are still spending money on it. So good for them. Red Dead Online, Halloween, but no zombies.
You could just earn double Red Dead money.
Yes. Let's see. So players can take part in All Hallows Call to Arms event to earn triple Red Dead Online money, gold, and XP. Players can also earn double money, gold, and XP on Telegram missions for Halloween. So this looks pretty lazy. So that's awesome. Love that. Hearthstone's doing an event, Dead by Daylight's doing an event, Marvel Snap is doing an event, and the newly released Skate is doing a Halloween event, which actually should be pretty fun because the game is still very new. You'd probably get some new costumes and stuff that not a lot of people have access to. So that's very cool. I mean, again, I'm hoping for that finals event, but I know it's just going to be cosmetics like everything is. So yeah.
There's one other event happening this weekend that I wanted to add to the news, forgot until now.
Yes.
Arc Raiders is doing their server slam this weekend.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. From the 17th to 19th, anyone can dive into Arc Raiders on PS5, Xbox Series S, Steam, or the Epic Game Store. It's free to play for the weekend, and it's the last big push before launch on October 30th. I know it's gonna be hard to get any of my friends off Battlefield, but I do want to try Arc Raiders. It seems like a really cool extraction shooter, really fun environmental hang with your pals. So download it.
Okay. I'll see if I'm free. Well, I'm free Saturday, so maybe I will. Maybe I will. That's a game that has been getting a lot of attention on social media. I'm interested to see how it's going to do this holiday season, because I think it does. There's not a lot of other extraction shooters that have come out recently. It's like really just like Helldivers, but that came out last February. So yeah. All right, let's start talking about Battlefield. And before we get into our thoughts for the game, there are bans going out for Battlefield, Phil. And after playing with you, I know you are reporting people who mysteriously
left
have
and right
so many kills that it doesn't make any sense. So what's going on with the bans in Battlefield?
This is a pretty interesting and promising thing to see happen. Battlefield is banning listen, cheats have become really ubiquitous. A lot of apps that are very passive and allow people to cheat. One particular one is Cronus Zen software. Now, I'm not sure exactly what it does, but when you think of cheats, there's a lot of things that are like movement hacks, speed hacks, aim hacks, and wall hacks that allow you to see where players are. And I think the most prevalent one that I've seen videos of most recently is people with, like, you see the skeletons running around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could see them through walls, so you know when someone's going to pop around, so you're just ready to shoot.
Right.
But Crotus Zen is an app that a lot of people use to cheat in any sort of big game like this, your Battlefields, your Call of Duties. And Battlefield has taken the decision to ban people for 3 days if they're caught with Cronus activated on their profile, which is a nice little slap on the wrist. But then adding, like, if you come back and do this, it's a permanent ban. Some people have already gotten permanent bans where EA says, hey, so you just can't use this product anymore. Like, we're banning your license to access this product.
Yeah.
Which is the scary thing about, digital games and not owning games and multiplayer games like this. But also, good, because screw you if you're using cheats. It's a fun game for everyone. Just get good.
Yeah, for real. Like, I've seen people, like, videos of people using cheats, and it's like, what is even the point of playing the game? Like,
Yeah, what's the fun?
I don't get it. I hate that people want to ruin this for everybody else. I would like it if instead of a 3-day ban, it was a week ban. But I think it's like fooled me once, but the second time, I like that the second time it's not a 3-strike thing. I like that they get,
They're like, get out.
yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what they need to do, because cheating software is getting more sophisticated and it's getting easier for people to access and download. And there's even like a small industry now that is like, hey, I work on this cheating software and you guys can use it for $50 a month. And I keep updating it so that the Battlefield people can't detect it. And that's for all games. It's for, the finals and Marvel Rivals and everything. So the more that we can crack down on cheaters, the better, because I play video games because, like, one of the reasons we like Rematch is because everyone is working with the same skills. It's not like playing FIFA where it's like, oh, my player's got different stats than your player. So like, and that gives it a fair and balanced atmosphere to the game. So glad that there's bans going out. Let's keep that going around. But let's talk about our thoughts in Battlefield 6. Phil, you love it, right?
Yeah, it rocks. It's great.
All right, good talk. That'll
That's
be
it. But yeah, no, it is a game that I feel like does a lot of really cool things that Battlefield used to do. It is, I think, a victory for gamers in the sense that a lot of game companies are like, well, we can't do big games like this anymore. We can't do these sort of AAA games. This is evidence, like, no, you can, and you can make it in a way that it's not predatory.
Yes.
You can make it. I'm sure there will be a battle pass very soon, but there is so much. Like, it is a full and complete game that has some bugs and glitches, but that is, a very online game. And I'm just reading a short, like, little cartoon about a BF6 player named Bob who has something called ABI, which makes them really hard to focus, or for their vision to focus, so they can't shoot well. So they play as a medic and just go around healing people, like that's the game for them. And that is what I like so much about this game, is that if you are someone who loves to snipe, like, there is a class for that. If you are someone who's all about, like, explosions, there's a class for that. And you can kind of play these games in in several different ways, at least. And one of the most fun ways is reviving people and, like, being a Battlefield medic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Great game.
Yeah, there's something in there for everyone. Like, I have a friend who he loves playing Recon, but he's not the best sniper. And so he just flies the drone around and just gets spotting assists all the time. And then it, like,
Great.
racks up his score, and it helps the entire team because you can see everybody from the air. So that's awesome. But yeah, I've primarily been playing the medic, but I tried out all the classes. I love them. I feel like this is a better version of Battlefield 4.
Yes, it was a high watermark for the series.
Yes. Like, I think that Some of the maps, I don't like the beta map, which is like on the side of the mountain where it's a big sniping map. So I'm not crazy about that one. But most of the maps feel really good and they feel unique, where they feel like, okay, this class is better for this map. I don't need to be playing engineer on this map because there's no vehicles on this map. So unless I really just want to use an SMG, which I can equip to any of the classes now, so I feel like the game is really well balanced. I'm still really impressed with how well optimized this game is on PC. I have a pretty... I don't have an amazing rig. I have a pretty standard gaming PC. So I have a 3060, which is pretty right and smack dab in the middle nowadays. And the fact that I can run the game on high and still get killer FPS is awesome. And I love that it just works that way. I love the crossplay and how seamless the crossplay is. EA has been trying to do crossplay like this forever. I remember in Battlefield 3 where in order to party up, you had to open a web browser on your PC and go into the Battlefield online login Electronic Arts Center and do it through a browser. Now, no matter who's playing, if they're playing on Xbox, on PlayStation, on PC, whatever, you can just add them into your party and it just works like that. You can join people's parties when they're in matches and automatically queue into them. It also, I guess what I'm raving about all the party stuff, but it makes a huge difference when it hasn't been working for the entire Battlefield tenure in that I've played.
Now it's just a simple click and you're playing with your friends.
It just works and it's great. And I do, I've said this before, but I do really appreciate this era of gaming where crossplay is just included in a lot of things, and it really seems to be working now. And the fact that you have a graphically intense game like Battlefield that is so well optimized on PC, and then the crossplay still works perfectly well to the consoles is incredible. So I want to congratulate them on that. I have had such a smooth sailing experience with this game so far. I haven't played the campaign. Have you tried out the campaign at all yet, Phil? No?
No, why would I? Why would I?
So
I can watch some guy be like, let's creep along this trench. And then I have a 10-minute a shootout with the dumbest bots I've ever played against to get worse at the multiplayer game. No, thank you.
All right, well, I'm about to change your mind. Are you ready?
Ooh.
There are things that for the multiplayer that you can only unlock if you only play the campaign, and now you're going to do it. So,
wasn't it is it skins?
I think it's skins, mostly.
Okay.
So we'll see if we get you in there. I think I'm going to try it out. But what they have been telling people is after you finish the Battlefield 6 campaign, you can actually, you could just not play it at all, but after you finish the campaign, EA is encouraging people to uninstall the campaign in order to save disk space. And they kept those files
EA,
separate. Yeah.
Right at the end of their life. Just being the coolest company around.
Super cool.
Just to get bought up immediately by a Saudi prince or whatever.
Yes. So
that's awful.
So I'm loving it. To me, I think this is far and away the best first-person shooter to come out this year. At least military shooter, unless you're going to be digging into some horror games and factoring those in as well. So I'm happy that COD has some competition. I'm glad that maybe COD is going to be forced to mix things up a little bit. But overall, very, very happy with the experience.
Yeah, I can't think of another first-person shooter that's come out this year that is anywhere in the same wheelhouse or anywhere in the same. But this definitely it reminds me of playing this game with my friends back on the Xbox 360 era. Battlefield 3 was for me and a bunch of my homies a seminal moment in multiplayer gaming where we learned about strategy, we learned about all these different things. uh, just by playing that game that kind of gave you a little bit more and made it a little bit more difficult, but rewarded you when you figured out those systems.
Yeah.
And this game is, I think, a streamlined version of that. Uh, some of the greatest things that I've really enjoyed are the squad revives. We talked about that after the beta.
Yeah.
The fact that anyone on your squad can run up and like pull you to safety,
Love that. Oh my god.
and watching people learn over time, like playing with we played with a squad last night of some of my friends, and they're getting better about not just reviving you on the spot, but like actually taking you into cover.
Yes.
Similarly, if there's a criticism that I can think of, it is that there is no place that actively tells me what my most recent unlocks were for like my guns and things. Like I want a list of like, hey, here's what's new on your gun. You could go in, and unless you've memorized all of your unlocks, it can be kind of confusing to look at like what's there. So some of their systems, some of their UI is a little bit tricky, but like the gun customization, how quickly you can go to the firing range, and then right back into gun customization. So you can really get a feel for like what this gun feels like with this difference. They've optimized so much of the experience that it's probably a shame this will be the last Battlefield game.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on two things you said. So, like, yeah, the medic thing, and just a shout out to all the medics there. Like, I know you like using the defib, but sometimes using the defib is a little selfish because you know I'm just going to get shot again immediately. So sometimes it's worth it to drag your people into cover, and they're like, well, if I'm playing the medic, I have the defib, so what's the point? It's like when as the medic, if you're dragging someone into cover, you still revive them twice as fast as compared to any other class. So it's still worth it to do it. And I usually do the drag revive as the medic more often than a defib, unless I see somebody who's like perfectly in cover. I can just do this quickly. So there's that. And then, yeah, I agree with you on the UI stuff. I think that like I'll see like in game, I'm like, oh, I'm using the machine gun, and I leveled it up, and I got a new scope, and I got a new suppressor or something like that. And then I'll be like trying to figure out what it is that I unlocked in my loadout screen. And I feel like two things. One, after you finish a match, the score screen and all the little things, like that needs to be more organized, or give me a little bit more time before you just dump me into matchmaking. And I think that part of that is like they just want to keep you going, which is great. But the thing about most Battlefield game types is that they're usually like 30 to 50 minutes. So so like after a long game, I need more than 30 seconds in a little loading screen to mess around with things. So even being able to go out into the loadout screen in between matches without having to fully drop out of matchmaking, that would be cool. But it's really just that specific, those kind of things. And I did want to ask you, Phil, what did you think of all of the game modes that they have lined up? Do you have a favorite?
I don't. So I'm starting to really experiment with the like quicker matches, the sort of like
The 10-minute ones?
the 10-minute ones, the sort of like kill count matches, just to like get practice in. Now, before I go play a long map, I will practice with some of those. I think I like the conquest or breakthrough style matches where you're moving through a level and like it's sort of battlefields that shift as you go.
Yeah.
And I definitely think I like attacking a little bit better than defending, because with attacking, like there is you have a resource that is your life, your team's amount of like lives that you spent, versus the defense is unlimited, but you're trying to capture these different points. And when you're on defense, it feels very like I feel like it's like being a goalie in rematch.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, where are they coming from? Oh my god.
Yeah, got to be patient, and yeah.
Well, you can get jumped very easily. So like this, I feel like that is the version of the game that I'm enjoying the most, like attacking and hitting different points and kind of like getting to strategize with your team.
Yeah, it's defending is much harder because you have to control your animal brain of wanting to like go find something. And so like I've had some of my best scores on defensive matches because I've committed to just like, I'm gonna sit here. And I think most people would be like, oh well, you're camping. I'm like, this is Battlefield. I am in my defensive position. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm not gonna run out
up my tent.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really liking Escalation. I think that's my favorite game mode. It's kind of a twist on Conquest where it's about like scoring, and then some of the capture points will move or they'll change. And I like that compared to traditional Conquest, because I feel like traditional Conquest is largely where you have a couple of squads that are kind of circling the map. And you're just rotating who has A, who has B, who has C. And I like that Escalation controls things a little bit more in that regard. So that's my favorite mode, and that's the mode that tends to be the largest, where it's like, oh, there's tons of vehicles, there's tons of tanks and jets and helicopters and everything like that. So you really get to experience the full battlefield scale. But I have also been happily surprised with the little 10-minute infantry only modes that you were talking about as well. I played like squad deathmatch, which is really cool, where it's 4 squads of 4 players each, and it's just who can get the most kills. And I think if you have friends where you can run a squad like that, I think that's great practice for just like coordinating and gunplay. If you just want to jump in there, because their respawns are super quick. They don't make you wait like in the other modes. So even if you're just like, oh, we're just gonna run all assaults, because we don't need a medic, because we can all revive each other because we're all in the same squad. So stuff like that. So I'm having a blast with it. I'm probably going to play the campaign. I'm going to try to get through it once. I'm not expecting much though. And I think maybe if my expectations are low, I might have a good time. So
yeah, I think the thing is there's just too many good single player games to play right now. Like if I'm going to play something, I'm playing Ghost of Yotei, I'm going to be playing Digimon World New Order, I'm going to be playing Mega Bonk.
We gotta beat Hades 2. We gotta go back and beat
Hades 2 17 times. That's how that game is built.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that is gonna wrap us up for this week, episode 97 of the GGG Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate if you did. And if you're listening to the audio only version on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can follow us over there as well. Maybe we'll see you on the battlefield this weekend, or maybe on Arc Raiders, because Phil's gonna drag me into that, and we'll see how that goes.
That's right.
What platform are you playing on for Arc Raiders?
Probably PC.
Probably PC? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll see if
I think hopefully the crossplay will be running.
I mean,
maybe we could just
the crossplay was running in the Battlefield beta, but apparently they've set a new standard with this. So
true.
Yeah. All right. Well, peace out, everybody. Peace, Phil.
Peace.